Hello and welcome to the Wellness Journey podcast with me, Rhi Bowden.
And me, Suzanne Williams. This is a special episode reflecting on the year, reflecting on 2024, and hopefully giving you some tools to reflect in a way that really supports you on your journey.
Yeah. So, Suzanne, how has 2024 been for you?
Yeah, it's an interesting, a year's a big chunk of time, isn't it? It's a big chunk of time and we're doing stuff, we're going through stuff. There's stuff that we've planned, stuff that comes out of the blue, and we're rolling with it. And what I like to do is look at the good stuff from 2024, look at the challenges maybe, and then reflect on something you're grateful for this year to maybe give it a bit of an overview.
So when you reflect, are you actually writing this down then? Are you using, journaling or asking yourself certain questions?
Yeah, I mean, journaling is a brilliant way to do it, isn't it? It's a lovely way to format it. I did a meditation this week and I reflected on 2024, just in my mind first, and noticing things. But then putting it down on a bit of paper is cool because you can look back, can't you, and use this as a reference for moving forward, for doing whatever you want to do, making the changes you want to do, letting go of things, bringing things on. So maybe we'll ask each other these questions today and hopefully it inspires you to, if we don't reflect, we're not aware and we keep moving in an unintentional way. So I would, something I've taught for years, reflecting on a Friday every week, but reflecting at the end of a year is a really powerful tool. So one to take with you.
Yeah. I mean, I reflect obviously daily as well, or reflect if something has happened in that day and I felt a little bit uncomfortable or maybe felt, I'm in a little bit of a bad mood now and I don't know why. I will reflect on it there so it doesn't stay with me. Brilliant. So I deal with it at the time, like I said, whether that's meditating or going for a run and having to think about it, or whether it's journaling, it's sort of figuring out why did I feel like that in that moment. And then once I do, I can let it go rather than it just staying with me. So I think it's really good to do reflection daily, weekly, monthly, and yearly. I think it's a really good practice.
It's a very mindful tool and there's a technique in mindfulness called check-ins. So maybe on your lunch break, you just have a check-in. Am I tired? Am I hungry? Was this morning hard? Am I triggered? It just helps you to sort of get through and notice and change and provide for your needs. So looking at 2024 as a whole, it's been a big year. Maybe it's been a good year for you. Maybe it hasn't been. Maybe there have been good parts, maybe not. Rhian, can you reflect on some good things from this year? I know I'm putting you on the spot here.
Yeah, well, I'm going to have to say this podcast.
Definitely.
I have to say that. So obviously that came out of the blue. That wasn't something that we was expecting or was in my intentions that I was going to do for 2024. It just came about. So I remember that we did a live together, an Instagram live. And after that Instagram live, you sort of went, it'd be great to do a podcast. I thought we flowed there in the live. Shall we do a podcast? And that's the first time it ever entered my head to even think about it or consider it. And now we've done so many episodes.
I know.
So many episodes in.
An organic good.
And it's been wonderful. And it's not just like what I've learned on this journey as well. Learned new skills in terms of how to create a podcast and how like the technical things that come from that. There's been a big learning curve. But also I've been introduced now to a whole new group of people through the podcast, and people who are messaging us and, chatting to us in person or messaging us online. And it's opened me up to this beautiful community of people who are just really passionate about wellness and self-care and that community of let's all do this together. We're here together. Let's do this together. And that's something really beautiful.
That's
really,
incredible.
Really beautiful. So I've met some gorgeous people and spoken to some beautiful people. And, Tara, who we had as a guest, our first ever guest.
Life-changing.
That was such a beautiful afternoon. Spending those couple of hours with her was lovely, and she's really inspirational. And so I feel really blessed that this has been part of my 2024.
Yeah.
And what about you?
Yeah, that was one of my reflections. One was the podcast, the fact that we've done something very different. you know, through my journey, I've wanted to help people and support people, and this is a beautiful way. And it's just been such a big learning curve. But it's fabulous, and I feel like we've settled into it a little bit now. I feel like I'm wearing a pair of slippers now when we do this, whereas in the beginning it was so much change, but we've met so many people, reached so many people. I think we've reached 12 countries so far.
Wow.
You know, from Japan to America to Spain. That is a big good for 2024. And I think the good reflection for me is we made that choice and we were brave, and we had a huge technical this year that we could have stopped, couldn't we? We could have gone, this is just too, but we pushed through it, which is a huge thing. And I take
a lot
that
of fears, a lot of blocks, a lot of times you think, why am I doing this?
This is too much. This is too. I see that as one of my goods from 2024, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And it's lovely to feel that you're helping others. I mean, even now, I have people saying to me out of the blue, I could be just in the supermarket, and they say, I listened to that episode and it was like it was meant for me. I listened to it and I just needed to hear that at that time. And that, you know, fills me with joy.
Yes.
It fills me with joy to when people stop me and say that. And people that I didn't even know were listening.
Yes.
You know, because you obviously know when people are listening, if they're messaging you or they're commenting on the podcast. But some people you're not aware that they are.
They're just
and
listening on their way to work.
They'll grab me and say, that episode was, you know, really touched me. And
I'm very grateful for Spotify and YouTube, these beautiful platforms that allow people to share amazing things with this world. On a reflection though, I always encourage clients and people to look at what was the challenge this year. I know we've just talked about one, but is there something else that you think, well, that was a challenge this year?
Yeah. I mean, we talked about the challenges with the podcast, but I guess another challenge for me was I've sort of stepped away now from one-to-one. So the clinic that I founded and grew, and I mean, 20 years of my life has been spent at the clinic, and it was my baby. I loved it, and I still do love it with a passion. So to step away from that and step away from treating clients one-to-one at the clinic, that was a big decision for me and a big challenge. It's allowed me now to explore other things with my career, and it's allowed me to develop the wellness side of things. So not just being in that box of physiotherapist, actually looking at wellness as a whole, mind, body, spirit, and I'm loving it. But it was a very big challenge, and I spent a good couple of months grieving and feeling unsettled and feeling not myself. And, you know, you have these moments of, what have I done, etc., etc. But working through them, using meditation, using journaling, using, you know, coaching sessions with yourself, Suzanne, you know, getting out there and being in nature, getting down the beach, being out, you know, running somewhere or just walking somewhere. All those times gave me space to just process. And I needed that processing. Before I could, you know, go on to the next thing, I had to just spend time just being and processing and finding my new norm and my new groove.
Definitely. That's fair. That's part of the journey, isn't it?
Yeah.
When we change something, we have to, I wouldn't say, we could call it the grieving process or the change process. You have to allow then all the stuff to settle and change and the new to come through. And
not be panicked by that.
Yes, because it's natural.
So
change does feel
the fear
very...
that was coming in and what do I do now? And
what if I've made the wrong decision? What if it's all horribly going to go horribly wrong?
Yeah, so all your what ifs come up, all your thoughts.
Absolutely.
So knowing to stay true within myself and go, right, you're here. Just deal with right here, right now. Let's not think about tomorrow or next week or next month. Just process and deal with what you've got going on within you right now. And I'm very grateful that I had that period. And I'm very grateful, you know, to people like yourselves who kept me grounded. And just, let's not go off with all these.
We can do this. We've got this. We've got this.
Come back. You know why your reason is, why you're doing this. So come back to your reason of why, and just, not let the fear take over. So that's been a big challenge for me. And what about you, challenge-wise?
Yeah, so I've had a challenge this year. Well, I'm going to be very vague about it because I'm not going to say what it is just yet. But I've had a big project that I'd worked on, and I had blocks with it. I had big blocks. I didn't realise that at the beginning, but I did. So I've worked through them lots this year. And last couple of weeks, I sent this project to someone, and they sent me an email with just fabulous feedback, just saying, this is what the world needs right now. What you've done is beautiful. To hear that was fabulous. I needed to, because the small child inside me was very scared about someone seeing this. So I did the work. I journaled, I meditated on it, I held it, I kept it safe. I did little steps to start sharing this new project with the right people, and I followed my guidance, and I'm glad I did, because it's met the right person now, and I'm really happy that that thing will be in the world next year, and I'll share more about that soon. But it was a challenge, like you, but like Rhian, you have to not get overwhelmed and go, how can I do it in a way that doesn't overwhelm me? How can I do this? And there's always a way, but take time and space. And then I'm grateful for that challenge, because not only does it reflect on the project, it reflected on a sense of me that I hadn't quite worked on yet. So I was thrilled with that. So that's why it's good to reflect on the challenge.
Yeah, and I think, you take yourself to another level when you reflect on challenges, and then you're actually grateful for those challenges. And and you're like, yes, okay, this is what I was meant to learn from this.
Yes, there are always lessons.
Because I think challenges, sometimes we can leave quite a negative emotion within us, when that happened, and it was,
it was hard.
It was hard.
This. It was that.
Yeah. But we're here to learn from them. And once we get the lesson, being grateful for the challenge in the first place.
Oh my gosh.
And letting go of any, I had a lot of negative emotions within me, and I had to let those go. And it took time, but now I'm like, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for everything, good and bad. Well, I mean, I don't like to label things good and bad, but
light and dark.
Light and dark that have come into my life. I'm grateful for all of them, and I wouldn't be the person I am now, and I wouldn't have the knowledge and the wisdom that I have now if I hadn't had those experiences.
Definitely. And that is our last pot of reflection, is gratitude, which is the most powerful emotion linked with love that we can have. It can change the structure of our brain, it can change pathways, it changes our life. So the last part of our 2024 reflections then are grateful. What are we grateful for from this year? And we touched on bits of it, but let's dive into that one. What are we grateful for from 2024? Big, small?
Yeah, I'm just grateful for the love and the joy, from all the people around me, from my family, from my friends, from, working with you, from the messages that I get from listeners. It's just, that fills me up, and I'm that kind of, when you're giving love and receiving love, and that sort of cycle.
It's beautiful.
It's just so wonderful. And I'm, so all of that is what I'm grateful for. And you, Suzanne?
Yeah, I reflected yesterday, and it's come into my mind. I am grateful for all the people I have taught and coached this year, because they are brave. Anybody who is making change in this world is brave, and I don't think we reflect on that enough. I teach people this year in rehab, with addiction, carers, people making changes in their lives. They are all so brave, because it's so easy not to change and say, But I can't see because but I've met the bravest people this year, and I'm really grateful that I get to be in their lives. And I mean that because I am brave because of the changes I've made in my life. Rhian is brave. These people are brave. And I'm in a world with brave people, and I'm incredibly grateful for that. We can all make excuses. We can all do it. Every single one on this planet can make an excuse. It's the people who go, even because of that, I am going to. And I'm very grateful to be part of a world with people that are making changes and finding solutions. Because that's the world we live in. It's an awesome world. I am grateful to be a human. Whatever we may say about humans in this world right now, I am so grateful to be one. And I know amazing people. And I'm really grateful to be part of that journey. Really grateful. That's been a year for me of having the most amazing people that I've got to work with and support. And that's been a huge thing for me this year. I'm really grateful to be in this world with these amazingly strong, brave people who have been through huge things. So if you're listening to this and going, yeah, but Suze, you don't know what people have been through huge things and are taking steps, even if they're tiny. That is the bravest thing ever. And I'm grateful for those people because they're changing the world. Yeah. And
so as we go into 2025 now, wowzers, maybe have a little think about, how can you take those little steps steps of change? How can you be brave and move forward towards your goal? We all have maybe something that we want to change, whether it's, where we live, whether it's something to do with our health, something to do with relationships, something to do with our job or our finances.
Yes.
There's all goals and little areas that we think, oh, do you know what? I would like to change that. So maybe think about and reflect on that change and think about what would I like to achieve in maybe 6 months or maybe 12 months. What are the little mini steps? What can I do every day towards that? What can I achieve in a week? What can I achieve in a month? And so, tiny little steps actually over a year makes such a difference.
One step makes 365 steps in a year, doesn't it? And maybe be soft with it, expansive, gentle. I want to feel more joy this year. And then you can narrow that down. What does that mean? I want to feel calmer this year. I want to travel this year. And just soften that one down and see what it flows. I taught someone this week who's 91. He's still making changes. Until the day we leave this planet, we can grow and expand. That's what I'm excited about for 2025. What's next? What's the next expansion? What's the new thing? That we can all do it. And it's exciting.
Talking about new, we'll be talking about that in 2025.
New beginnings.
Yes. So our season 4. I mean, can you believe it? We're starting 2025 with season 4, where we'll all be talking about new beginnings.
So we can help you. We can hold your hand through your new journey.
Yes.
Every step. We look at habits, change, fears, blocks. We're going to be with you. We're part of this community together. And any thoughts or any things you want us to do, send us a message. We'll have a little look at it. That would be awesome.
So thank you so much for joining us
2024
today, and for the whole of 2024. You've supported us in our new venture, and we're really grateful to each and every one of you. And we're really excited to see what 2025 brings. So excited. Yeah, we will see you in the new year. So as always, take care and remember that you are
awesome now and always, and you can sparkle and shine in 2025.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Right.
Take care.
Take care. Lots of love.